Okay, so let's get started. Thank you all for taking the time to jump on. I really appreciate it. I know Tanya and Courtney appreciate it too, because it's one of those things that's a little bit outside of our comfort zones. So it's really handy to have some support and love on an event like this. I'll start by introducing myself. My name's Katrina. I've been doing the business now for about 12 months, and I get the pleasure, along with another couple of beautiful leaders, of launching these guys and really helping people around them understand what it is that they're kind of getting involved in, what our mission is, what we aim to do, how our product helps people and things like that, because there's a lot of misconceptions around our industry, and we really like to utilize these events to make sure that everybody understands that we're coming from a place of heart and you know, just a little bit more about what their journey is going to entail as they go through it. So I'm going to break down the products first. So you may have seen the products if you're friends with one of these girls on Facebook, or if they've shared their journey, or, you know, they've talked about some results that they're seeing. But I'm going to break down the actual compounds of them and what they entail and why they work the way they work. So pretty much we're based around two products, which I really love. Okay, there's just two really beautiful products that have been around for 30 plus years. So exactly the same products, exactly the same ingredients have been around for that long, which shows you that they're not a fad. They're not a diet. They're not going out of season. They've been around for that long, and they've been impacting people all around the world for 3 decades. So that's pretty impressive in its own. So what they basically are is berries, fruits, and veggies. Okay, it's that simple. They wait until they're vine ripened, which is really important because a lot of the produce we buy these days isn't vine ripened, and we miss out on a lot of nutrients because of it. So Juice Plus waits for the products to be completely vine ripened, and they pick the products whole. So that's really important as well, because a lot of the time we miss out on the nutrients in our food by peeling them, by not eating the cores, the seeds, things like that, that also contain a lot of nutrients for our body. So they juice the whole pulp, they take it into a nice big juicy form, and then they actually cold press it, which is wonderful if anybody knows anything about cold pressed juice, and they actually dehydrate it at a very low temperature in order to keep the phytochemicals alive. So when you look at it, it does come in a canister, but it's actually a whole food product because the food is still alive inside these capsules. So with the berries, when you look at the back of them, got all sorts of beautiful berries that we probably don't get to eat too often. So great raspberries, bilberries, blueberries, cranberries, pomegranate, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry, artichoke. There's a few other ones on there as well, but literally the ingredients lists like food because it is food. So there's nothing really special about it. It is literally just like the food that you're going to get from the shelves, but it's an easier and more convenient way to get it inside our bodies. So as you guys can imagine, if we were to eat, these little guys have 27 different fruits, veggies, and berries in every day. If we were to eat these every day, our bodies would start to feel amazing. Imagine if we could have a juice every day with 27 different fruits, veggies, and berries in it. Yes, darling. Imagine how good we'd feel. You know, we'd start to see differences like skin, energy, you know, girls, shh, please, I'm trying to do my work. Sorry, guys, they're not well, so they need mum. I'm sure if we've got some mums on here, you'd understand. Come here, Lola. Come here. Don't whinge, please. And the best part about it, which we can segue into, is that they actually have kids' products too. So if you are a mum, you'd probably understand them whinging in the background, but also the trouble that you get to try and get fruit and veggies into your babies as well. So I know mine. You know, they have their certain foods that they like. And I can't really complain about that because they do eat veggies, but it's just a limited array of veggies. So it's the same kind of stuff every day. You know, like we get carrots, we get white potato, we get sweet potato, and maybe a few beans, if that's as far as we can go. But, you know, I really love about these because it gets a whole different array of veggies in their body. So hang on, sorry, I'm just going to mute again. Continue. Awesome. So they get a whole array of veggies. I'll show you those as well. Now they're exactly the same. So they're still a whole food product, but instead of turning into a powder like these ones, they actually leave them in a juice form and they turn them into a tapioca chew. So again, it's all plant-based. You're not getting any kind of nasties, any additives, any excess sugar, nothing at all. It's all just natural food, but it's in a really easy way for us to take it. So obviously you're going to get the benefits inside yourself. If you're a family, you're going to get benefits inside your children because the kids' products come absolutely free. Now there's also 35 peer-reviewed journals done on Juice Plus. A lot of them are in medical journals and medical grades. If you actually have a look, we're in the bio link. We're used by doctors. We're promoted by a lot of health professionals, obviously because we have the scientific backing and the beautiful longevity of our product and program. And I mean, it's fruits, veggies, and berries. If everybody pretty much knows that they need to eat more of them, you know, we know that they've got amazing healing properties. We know that our body is designed to have them inside, but we just know today it's very hard to do that all the time. We have busy lifestyles. A lot of our food is becoming very processed. Even the produce that we're buying, if we're buying it from the supermarkets out of convenience, it's quite often sprayed. It's got chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, all sorts of different things, and we have absolutely no idea of where they've come from most of the time. With Juice Plus, it's a very stringent operation. There's absolutely no chemicals allowed on the farm whatsoever. So at no stage has the soil been modified. There are actually farms that have been around for 3 generations before they're allowed to grow. So they have to be GMO, herbicide, and pesticide free for 3 generations of farmers before Juice Plus will allow their produce to be grown in their soil. So to me, that shows that they're very passionate about making sure that we're living chemically free and that our food is actually the way that it's intended to be naturally rather than modified out of convenience. So if you can imagine putting that side in your body every day, of course you're going to start to feel better. We're going to get lots of amazing results. For me personally, it was energy, but more so because I was actually in a state of depression and anxiety because I just had my second baby. Life was really hard. It was really hectic. And I had a lot on my shoulders, but I still tried to power on every day. And I know if you're a mama or you've got those kind of responsibilities, you can probably resonate a little bit. We put ourselves last. And I really kind of got to the stage where I knew I needed to do something. I wasn't eating food simply because I didn't have time. You know, I felt stressed. I wasn't eating breakfast. I'd probably snack along the day. By the time dinner came, I'd get the kids food, get them in bed. I was really neglecting myself. And I didn't put the link between my mental state and what I was putting inside my body together until this product came into my life, and it changed the way that my body functioned absolutely. I started sleeping better. I started feeling better. My brain fog went. My energy was insane. That was one of the biggest things. I don't think I'd felt that kind of energy in a very long time, probably way before kids, to be honest. You know, I was staying awake easily until midnight every night, but it wasn't that I didn't feel tired at all. But then I'd go to sleep and I'd have an amazing sleep and wake up feeling rested. And for, being at that stage in my life, having 2 small kids, having a good sleep was not something that I was used to. So obviously bits and pieces like that, it went inside my body. It worked on a cellular level and just started getting me feeling optimally better. So I obviously love the stories. I think the research is cool. It's good to have it. It makes me feel safe to endorse a product that I know has a really strong scientific backing. But for me, the stories of what it's done is much more powerful. So mine obviously was helping me out with that. Yes, you can have that. But we've seen some amazing things from like skin conditions, mental illnesses, autoimmune conditions, asthma, eczema, all sorts of different things that people come to us, not quite sure if it will work, just coming into really wanting to get healthier. And by a byproduct of putting more fruits and veggies into their bodies, the ailments have kind of eased or even sometimes dissipated. So it's really quite an amazing product. We do have one other product, like I said. So we've got the micronutrient capsules, the fruits and veggies in their purest form, and they work on a cellular level. These little guys are the macronutrient, yin to the yang. So they work to fuel our body full of healthy fats, clean carbs, all plant-based again, which is really important. And it's also water washed. So a lot of the time we see protein powders or, meal replacements out there that are so full of synthetic materials that our body just doesn't know what to do with them. It doesn't recognize how to break it down or how to get the nutrients from it. And a lot of the time we're excreting it and we're paying a lot of money for nothing. So what I like about these, just like the capsules, when you turn it over, it's a food list. So it's going to say things like radish sprouts, broccoli sprouts, pomegranate, pumpkin powder, amaranth, millet, spirulina, all sorts of different things that my body knows what to do with. Just like the capsules, because my body can recognize the ingredient, it's absorbed and it's used. It's not going to waste, which is why I think we see so many amazing results. So I'm going to break on over. I'm going to go to Tanya. Tanya's actually launching tonight, which is really exciting. And she's going to share with me a little bit about what she's noticed being on the product. And then we're also going to hear from Courtney, who's launching as well. So thanks, Tanya. I'm going to spotlight you, so I'll make you nice and big. And I'd love to hear, what you've noticed being on the product.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to all the people that have jumped on to support me, because I'm a little nervous. I'm a podiatrist, and I've been taking the Juice Plus product for a little over 3 weeks. I finished training for podiatry in 2008, and I went into business on my own, which was hugely stressful. And I thought the longer I do this, the more knowledge I'll gain, and eventually I'll enjoy it. And now here I am almost 10 years later, and I like what I do, but I don't love it. In 2012 I moved to Western Australia, to a little town about 200 k's south of Perth, where when I got there were no podiatry jobs available. So I started working as a weight loss consultant for a very well-known international weight loss company, and I loved it. I loved going to work every day. I loved helping people that would come and see me, not because they were in pain, but because they wanted to make a change in their lives, and it was really rewarding. So I did that for about 3 years, and then at the start of 2015 I moved back to New Zealand. And since then I've been working as a subcontractor about 3 or 4 days a week, because I don't want to work full time. I don't want to spend my life at work, especially doing something that doesn't make me completely happy. I currently am developing a new program called Walk Right, Move Right. I'm a musculoskeletal podiatrist, so I focus on the whole body and how the loading forces from the shoulder or the back or the hip or the knee or whatever transfer through the foot. So I thought that the Juice Plus product would be really good to complement that. And then I saw Laura's post, and I was like, oh, this looks, really good. And I've had a really hectic year. 2016 was really tough for me, lots of highs, lots of lows. I got engaged, and then about 6 months after that, my mum got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she passed away 4 weeks after her diagnosis. And then 4 weeks after that I got married, and about 2 months after that I was just emotionally, physically, mentally drained, completely drained, and I was suffering from a massive amount of anxiety and depression, and I just didn't want to go to work, and it was making me so stressed. And forcing yourself to go to work every day and do something that you're kind of okay with, but it just doesn't really make you happy. I thought I've got to do something else. So one of the main reasons I was looking for a product like this was because my hair has been falling out for about 5 years. It's gradually just getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and doesn't grow more than about 5 centimeters. And I've been to hair specialists, the advanced hair studio, the laser therapists, various doctors, endocrinologists. I've had my hormones tested, and at such an in-depth level, and physically I'm fine. So their conclusion was that I have female pattern baldness, and eventually I'll lose all my hair. And that wasn't something that I was willing to accept. They said I could take various drugs, this drug, that drug, and that will help my hair grow. But all of those drugs were potentially, they were extremely harmful if you wanted to try to get pregnant or whatever. So it wasn't really something that I wanted to prep for pregnancy with. and spend my entire pregnancy worried about whether or not I'd done something to damage my baby or myself in some way. So when I looked into this product, I was like, yes, this sounds perfect. So I talked to Laura. We knew each other from uni years ago. We played netball together. So I sort of checked in and had some conversations with her, and it really sounded like something that I wanted to do. Since taking Juice Plus, even though I've only been taking it for probably a little over 3 weeks, I've got more energy. My anxiety and depression is virtually gone. I go to sleep at night. I don't lie in bed all night going, oh, you really need to get some sleep, and stressing about the fact that I'm not asleep. I sleep solidly through the night. I wake up feeling awake. I come home from work and I don't just want to lie on the couch for the rest of the night. But the biggest thing for me has been that numerous people have commented and said, wow, your hair is growing back. And I was sort of like, oh, it can't happen that quickly. But my husband's mentioned it 2 or 3 times, saying it's definitely getting thicker and I can feel it myself. So that's a massive plus for me. And he's also said that, you know, this is the most productive that I've ever seen you. So I've been running again. I've been doing things because I've just got energy, which is awesome. I'm really excited now about the future, because I know that I won't have to take medication for depression, anxiety, and my hair loss, and potentially I can fix it with just good nutrition. I'm really busy, so when I have patients all day long, people will come in and they'll say, can you do this, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I spend half my lunchtime just trying to catch up on things. So knowing that I'm putting something into my body every day that's really helping me and I can feel it, that's the main thing, is really rewarding for me. So it makes me really happy to tell other people about the product, because I know it works for me. And I've got a lot of friends that are at home with wee babies and things like that, or working from home and struggling to make an income. So I think this could be something that could really help a lot of people, and that makes me feel good, and it makes me want to put it out there into the world. I know I'm really happy knowing that I'm prepping for the future, doing something that I'm passionate about, and knowing that it's really good for me and is really good for other people, and knowing that in the future, if we are lucky enough to have more children, we've got Jackson who's 11, and we'd really like to sort of plan for a family in the next 6 months or so, and knowing that I potentially could stay at home with them while they're little is massive for me. So yeah, I'm really excited that I've jumped on board with this, and I'm excited about what the future holds. Thank you for listening, and I'll pass you back to Katrina.
Thank you, darling. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I haven't heard your story before, but that is so amazing. And I'm so glad you're seeing such good results.
Thanks.
You'll have to keep me updated, because that's fantastic.
I will.
I'm sure there's so many people out there that could help. And, that's what I think is so important, is that we're real people who have our own real stories, and that's why we love the product. We don't go out there and try and endorse something that we don't believe in. And I think it's really important, because just like Tanya said, there's such a need for that in the world right now. We're suffering, we're unhealthy, we're unhappy. So a product like ours and the program that comes behind it is also phenomenal, all about teaching you about healthy living and happy living. So of course that's going to be useful for everyone too. But Courtney, I'd love to hear from you too, darling. Now, Courtney, you also have been on the product. How long has it been now? Hang on. Perfect. I'll make you big. Go for it, darling.
Hi guys, I've been on it for about just on a month now. I'm also a type 1 diabetic, and I've not long had my first child, which was a bit of a struggle, because with type 1 diabetes you can get a few complications in pregnancy. She was a lot bigger. I had to have her by C-section because she was breech. She was 10 pound 2. And we had to spend a week in hospital afterwards because she was taken a little bit early. She had complications breathing, and she had jaundice as well. So we're sort of wanting to get out of hospital by about the end of the week, and then I had a few complications as well. But what I've found with Juice Plus is like, would have been about 4 weeks I'd been home by the time I started the product, and I was getting really, really tired, getting up at 3 times a night for about an hour and a half at a time, trying to settle the baby. It was all new to me, kind of scary. And you sort of don't know what you're doing. You're sort of muddling away through. And with everything else going on, I had a few problems with after the C-section, some complications with retained products, which meant that I was hemorrhaging all the time, even after the 6 weeks had passed, when you're supposed to be sort of getting over it. And I was finding I was getting really, really tired. But I think I would have been a heck of a lot worse off had I not been taking the Juice Plus premium capsules. Because of that, I think that, because I had to go into hospital again on Sunday, so I had woke up with pains and ended up going to the hospital, and they did a blood test, and they said, which is quite interesting to me, that my red blood cell count was really, really high, and so was my white blood cells, which was interesting because they said it shouldn't be like that for a woman who's just been pregnant, because especially with all the blood that I was losing. So that was sort of like a confirmation for me that something was actually happening with the product, even though I'm still a little bit tired. But I think that's just my body trying to get over and go through the detox, which can take a little bit longer for some people. But I'm starting to notice a difference. The last 2-3 days I've been getting up without being grumpy. And I'm noticing that I'm enjoying having a baby a heck of a lot more than what I had previously, because I was so tired and so drained all the time. I've got my partner on the gummies, and his mood has improved a heck of a lot. After work, he used to come home quite grumpy because he does 12 to 14-hour days, and he's got a bit of a commute home from work. And yeah, I've just noticed that he's a lot less grumpy. And yeah, so that's pretty much my story. Before that, I was a full-time painter and decorator, and pregnancy was kind of hard because I worked right up till the 7-month mark, going up and down ladders, and dealing with all the fumes and stuff was making me pretty tired as well. And before that, I was working with waitressing, horses, went to uni, did a Bachelor of Science. So I find all these medical journals and stuff quite interesting to read, and all the information, because I sort of understand a little bit about what I'm reading, a little bit. It still seems to confuse me a little bit with all these journals and how they can go on with the jargon. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to find out where this could go, because I would like to stay home as long as possible with my new daughter. And I do want to get out of painting, because I can't see myself at the age of 50 or 60 struggling up ladders, painting roofs and doing all that kind of thing. So this is a real good opportunity for me to find something else and help other people as well, because I know there's a need for being able to work from home, because it's not easy finding the money and just living, really. It can be quite a struggle and it can be stressful. So I just really would like to be stress-free and help others while doing it, and sell a product that I actually believe in. Because I was really skeptical when I first started. I was sort of wondering how this would even help me at all. But yeah, I'm actually finding that my hair's gotten a lot stronger. It was falling out in clumps. I run my hands through it and I get about 15, 20 hairs all through it. And not to mention the plug holes in the shower, that was pretty horrible. But yeah, looking forward to the journey ahead, and helping others get onto it, and hopefully see some more results very soon.
Wow.
Thanks, Katrina.
Wonderful. Thank you, darling. That's a brilliant share as well. You guys are on fire tonight. Thank you so much. Perfect. Thanks, darling. And like Courtney said, you know, there really is a need for working at home. And that's why we do business launches like this, because we want to explain to you exactly how the business works. I know there's a lot of misconceptions, and I was honestly, you know, Courtney says that she was a skeptic. I was a massive skeptic. So I like to really break it down. And, you know, I've got a few of the lovely ladies on here tonight that are going to help us. So I'm going to jump on over to Trace, and she's going to explain to you guys kind of a little bit about how the business works. So it's all yours, love.
Hi everyone, thank you. And great stories. I've they're really nice to hear different stories, and well done on joining the business, because it's definitely something different that we're pretty much everyone is used to. It's a different avenue for me as well. So fantastic stories, and congratulations on launching your businesses. So I'm just going to squash a few little myths about our business. I was very skeptical at the beginning as well, thinking it was one of those pyramid schemes, and not really knowing what I was getting into. So once I learnt about the business and learnt about what it really is, and that it wasn't a pyramid scheme, which I will show you how really, about the differences in our business as to what a normal traditional business is. I mean, I own a family daycare business, so it's a traditional business. So I have to run my business. It's something that I don't get help with. It's a complete different story. And doing this business is an entirely different one as well. So you always hear pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid. But when you look at your traditional business and how it's run, you could see that is actually a pyramid as well. Is one itself. So you'll see basically. Oh, not going to work today. My kids have been using them. So we have our normal traditional business. So as you'll see, starting down the bottom, I have, say childcare that we're working in, that my industry that I work in myself at the moment. I don't work in the whole business that a daycare is, so it is different. So I'll show you how a daycare will be run. So down the bottom, you would have your cleaners and things like that, who are, just sorting out little bits and pieces around the place, and they get minimum, wages and minimum hours. So that's, down the bottom. So you've got your cleaners. And then you have, going up a bit, you have your casual staff that would come in, and, very minimal hours as well, and very minimal pay. So casual, and your floats as well in the room. So you've got your different areas that you have extra help coming into a daycare centre. So you have those, and then you'll get permanent positions eventually. And there's not that many in a centre. It's very small area to move, to go up in the ladder, because there isn't that much to go through. So you'll have your room assistants, educators, that we'll call them. Whoops, spell it right. So you have all those, and they will be in your rooms assisting the room leader, which is up here. So you've got your room leaders, and then you have your supervisors, the ones that will be looking after everyone's hours when they go home, things like that, supervising areas and all of that. There's only be one or two of those really, so there's not that much room to go up. And you'll have your director up the top, and then your owner, your CEO at the top. So to get from casual up to here, it's non-existent. There is no room for a casual to move up. Even for just an educator to move up, because the person who owns it is not going to give up their business. And even the directors, they'll sit there in their positions for a very long time, because it is a great position in a childcare centre. So you will notice that directors will be there for years and years and years. And then you have your room leaders, your supervisors, who will try to go for a director's, but like I said, there's not much room to move. So you will have your little positions in a daycare centre where you cannot move up. And if you do want to pursue that, you would have to go to another centre where there's an opening coming up for availability. And to be honest, when you go from level to level, the pay, it only jumps by a couple of dollars an hour. So you do a lot of study, and to get to a different level, your pay's not really jumping very high, but the workload is double, triple. So, a lot of people will stay down here, being a room leader or just an educator in the room doing those jobs, because, quite simply, going up here, there is so much paperwork and little money. You might get a nice hefty little a salary being a director, but the amount of work that you have to put in for that is incredible, absolutely amazing. I mean, being in family daycare, I kind of have to do all of it, but on a smaller scale. So yeah, that will be how a traditional business is run, and it's a pyramid. So we get that, but with our business, we kind of change that a little bit because it is different. My pen. So we will look at it a bit like a rectangle. So everyone will start off down here as a VF, a virtual franchise. So everyone will start here, no matter who you are, doctor, a teacher, a dentist, anyone, real estate agent, anyone who comes into the business will start down here. But the thing is, as there is lots of room, everyone can get up to the top, which is our pinnacle position of NMD. So that is our top position up the top. We have other levels going up, but there is no squishing anyone. There is no, you can't make it to here. Everyone has that opportunity, and it's just up to you to put in the work and to get there. And basically, anyone can get there, but you also need to help the people on your team. So if I want to get up to here, I need to help everyone who is under me. So that in a way, it's a teaching business, so that you're teaching everyone to grow and to build up to your pinnacle position at the top. So that is the really difference. That's the difference within the traditional business being a triangle and our business where everyone can get to the top, not just the CEO sitting at the top down here. So it makes sense, really. There is no, when I look at my business and I think, oh, why am I doing this? Because it's hard. It is really hard. So, but this, you're helping each other. We get to the top. You know, some people can take their time. It's not a race. We don't have to be racing everywhere up to the top. You can take your time, but there is room for you. You can get there no matter what, however long you want to take or however quick you want to take. So that's a beauty of this. And yeah, so that's one of the myths. And another myth is basically needing to know a lot of people. I thought, oh, I can't do this because I really don't know that many people. I don't have that many big social group of people that you probably need to, you know, sell things and all of that. Thinking it was a sales position, but it's not really a sales position at all. What we do is actually share, just sharing about our stories and everything like that, and it just kind of sells itself. So it's not really a push, got to sell. So the myth about knowing a lot of people, kind of that squishes that. And to show you how I have built my business, and it's all through social media. So I don't have anyone on my team who I actually know. So I have simply just put the word out there, and I'll tell you how in a minute. And that was me. And then I introduced it to Louise. I introduced it to Katrina, another Katrina. I introduced it to Laura. So we'll go with that. And then Louise introduced it to Narelle, who she actually knew Narelle. And then she introduced it to Andrea, who she actually knew as well. Katrina, she did share it with her sister, Chelsea. And Laura shared it with Tanya. But with me, I didn't know any. I didn't know Louise, I didn't know Katrina, and I didn't know Laura. I simply found them through social media. So I to find Louise and Katrina, I put someone was complaining about not having enough children in their daycare, and they were losing money. So I just said that, I've been doing a side project. I commented on it, said I'm doing a side project, and basically it's helping me earn money on the side. So I don't have to worry about it if I don't have enough children in care. So from that comment, so many people commented, I want more information. So I found a few people that got Louise and Katrina through that posting. And with Laura, I simply just put a post on Facebook on my page. So I've developed a page called Mum's Taking Action. And Laura saw that and she responded to that ad. And that's how simple it can be. It just attracts people and you can build a team. So Laura's going to introduce it to Steph. And then Katrina's introducing it to more, Chelsea's introducing it to more, Andrea as well. And then it just starts to balloon out. And then your team all of a sudden becomes a bit more than what you started off with. So just by me introducing it to 3 people has become more of a business. And that's how it just grows. So the more people that you introduce someone, then they introduce someone, and then it just balloons like that. The popcorn effect, that's what we'll call it. And yeah, so that's that basically not knowing anyone. So that's how you can see that you don't need to know a lot of people in the business. There you go, Katrina.
Thanks, hon. You're the best example for that, because like Trace said, she literally started this business with strangers, but it's really cool now because I get to see the cool relationships that she's built with them. And I'm much the same. I actually knew Trace beforehand. We kind of worked through family daycare together, and my kids went to her daycare. So it was just by me introducing it to Trace introduced it to Laura, who's introduced it to Tanya, who's now talking to people and trying to help them create some income online. So it really is a word of mouth business, and it just works. Like Tracy said, you don't have to work hard at convincing people, because people out there want to make a difference. They want to start changing their own circumstance. So it definitely makes sense. I get the pleasure of actually talking about the fun stuff. So I get to talk about how we make money, and it's actually quite a lucrative business. I never really looked into network marketing before because it scared me a little bit. But once I've gotten in here, I've been able to understand that this is the freedom that I craved. So a little bit about me. I also had a family daycare business, and I owned a dance studio as well. I'm a professional dancer. So I had both of them running, family daycare during the day and dance training at night. So it was a very hectic life, as well as being a mum and a partner. So obviously I had no time freedom with my businesses. I love to travel, but if I traveled, I didn't get paid. Nobody was there to look after the kids, or nobody was there to train my dancers. So my income stopped. My flexibility was very short-sighted. I needed to be there, and I needed to be working those hours to provide for my family. And it was just a trap, and Tanya shared at the start is you feel stuck in there because you need to work, you need to provide, but it's something that doesn't quite make you happy. So then it plays on you mentally as well. For me, I've been in this business 12 months now, and I've had an absolute amazing run. It's changed my life. 5 months into the business, I was able to give up both of my traditional businesses and do this full time. And it's definitely still work. You still, you have action that you need to take. You need to follow up. You need to look after your customers. You need to work within your team. But it's the freedom to be able to do that exactly when you want that is the best blessing of all. My eldest started school this year. And if I was still doing family daycare, she would have been in before and after school, because I could not leave my kids to go and pick up her, as their parents weren't coming to pick them up yet. So it would have been my daughter that suffered. Because I do this, I can be present to drop her off, and I can be present to pick her up, and I still get to work when I choose. So for me, it's that kind of freedom. But it's the money that comes with it, because it's the money that gives you choices. So obviously, to be able to give up my businesses, you can make some really decent money in this. And I'm kind of going to show you guys how, just in case finances are a little bit of an indicator for you guys wanting to change your circumstances. So we actually get paid 3 ways coming into this. We get paid a retail profit. We get paid a commission on how our team's working. And we also get paid bonuses. Now, when I first came into this business, I was so skeptical about how this money was made. I didn't understand the industry, and I wasn't sure about where this money was coming from. I didn't want to take it off my team. So, there were a few issues there that I had to work my way through. But what I understood was that this business has been around for 35 years. So Juice Plus has been around for that long, and they've been a direct selling company for that long. So at no stage do they pay for marketing. They don't pay for advertising. They don't pay for celebrity endorsing. They don't pay for stock shelving. They don't pay for warehouse fees. They literally don't pay for anything but their product. So they save millions and millions and millions of dollars annually by just being smart. What they do is they have customers like Tanya, Courtney, and myself who love the product, share the product from the heart, and try and help other people that we care about. And when we do so, they pay us directly. Okay, so it's really honest marketing, and it definitely makes sense. I wish more businesses were like this, because you'd be getting a lot more of an honest review of products. So when we come into the business, we mostly talk about bonuses as a paycheck because they're the fun money. We don't really get bonuses these days. But remember, when I'm explaining bonuses, it is only 1/3 of the way we get paid. There are 2 other avenues as well. Now, like Tracy said, we come in as a VF position, whether you're a stay-at-home mum, whether you've got a doctorate, regardless, we all start off at the start. Within the first 10 days, we try and move you to DVF, which is a $100 bonus. Okay, and then within the first month or 2, we move to SDVF, which is a $400 bonus. Now, because this business is a teaching business, we don't have management. You teach people how to do it and you help them with their business. If you help somebody get to SDVF, you also get a $400 bonus as well. Okay, then we move on to SC, is a $600 bonus and a $600 bonus when you teach somebody to do it, which I think is really important because it encourages you to look after the people that are here on this journey with you. Okay, you don't just get lugged into this business and left by yourself. There's always somebody there who's going to help you because it's of their best interest to do so. Then we move on to SSC, which is $1,200. $1,200 if you help somebody get there. Then we move on to QNMD, which is $1,500, and $1,500 for the person who taught you. And then we move on to NMD, which is our pinnacle position, like Tracy said, which is a nice $3,000 bonus. Yes, hang on, darling. At this stage, that's not really important. Your teacher doesn't need a bonus because they're likely an NMD as well. And you're actually sitting on about $100,000 residual income at NMD. Okay, and that residual income comes from up here, this percentage, which is really cool because if you've got to NMD, you've got the structure underneath you, you've helped enough people reach these positions, that the company understands that you're working hard, you're helping them, so you get paid a residual income. Now that's really cool for me because I like to travel, like I mentioned. When I finished and closed up my 2 businesses, I actually went and spent 2 months with my family in Bali last year, and it was amazing. It was something that's always been on my bucket list. I adore Bali. It's very spiritual for me. It's a place of cleansing and just a total place of happiness. But like I mentioned, I never had the freedom to go there because if I went and left my businesses, it fell apart and I didn't get paid. So once this freedom kind of came in, I picked up my girls and my partner and we all went to Bali, and it was just amazing. You know, I could work there. The residual income still came in. I could still touch base with my team. And since that's kind of happened, we've done amazing things. We've got to go to New Zealand. We work around. We move around. My partner now works on the business with me. So we spend the day together every day kind of working on our future, and really just providing for our family in a much more freedom-filled way. It's totally unconventional, nothing that I ever imagined that we'd be doing, but it promotes the exact parenting style that I wanted. I wanted to be present for my kids. I didn't want to be the mum missing out on sports carnivals or award ceremonies or anything like that. Even now, like, they're driving me nuts because they're supposed to be in watching a movie, but I love the fact that they're here, they're with me, I'm at work, you know, I can do it all as one, and, you know, they know that they're so important to me. So if any of this kind of makes sense to you guys, if you feel like it's something that you'd like to pursue, either health-wise or wealth-wise, definitely chat to the girls who got you here. Come and speak to us because we all had questions. We all had reservations at the start, so we'd be more than happy to help you through them. But I just find if it's something that kind of gets you a little bit excited, if it's something that makes you think, just jump at it. I actually seen this opportunity for 12 months before I jumped at it. And I look now and think I could be 12 months ahead with my lifestyle and the things that I could have got to do. Obviously, divine timing is a miraculous thing, but if it's excited you or if it's made you think, just jump in. We will help you with the rest. There's a system here that you cannot fail in as long as you show up. So thank you so much for your time. I'm going to jump on over. I'd love Laura to share, and she's going to finish it all up for us. Now, she's actually Tanya's beautiful upline. She fits in between Tracy and Tanya, and she's got a little bit of a different story than I do. So I'm going to jump on over, and it's all yours, darling. I'd love you to finish us off.
Hi, thanks, Katrina. Thank you guys for listening in. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can't hear you, darling. Try again.
Can you hear me?
It's just very, very quiet.
Can you hear me all right?
Can you turn it up a little bit?
How about now?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Still very quiet.
You are.
Is it all right?
Yeah, it's okay. Use your big voice.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll just finish you off. My name is Laura, and I have been in this business for almost 3 months now. And before this business, I am a PE teacher, or I am still a PE teacher, and I'm a mum to 2 beautiful girls who keep me very busy. And like Tracy said, I responded to an ad on Facebook. I was going through Facebook, and I sent an ad just saying, if you were interested in working from home and you're passionate about health, then get in contact. And I was sort of petrified of going back to work too soon after having my baby. And I thought, what have I got to lose? Because that is absolutely me. I am passionate about health and want to work from home. So when Tracy sent it through to me, a video similar to what you're watching tonight, I love everything that I heard. It resonated with all my existing health beliefs, and I was really, really excited. I wasn't skeptical as such, because I understand the power of fruits and vegetables, which this is what the product is, but I wanted to make sure that it worked for me. So I took the product first, and it was probably taking it for 6 weeks when I went home to New Zealand for Christmas, and my family started, without me saying anything, asked me about what I had been doing or what I've been taking, because I had so much more energy. I was able to stay up, catching up, playing cards and games and stuff like that with them. And usually I'm in bed by 8 o'clock, and that was really amazing. So I just thought more seriously about the business when people had just asked me, what are you doing? And I wasn't ashamed to say, well, I'm actually including more fruits and vegetables into my diet in a really easy way. And my whole family were actually really excited and wanted to order some product off me because they could see how much it was changing my lifestyle and my energy. So then I got more in contact with Tracy, and got more serious about the business. And once I looked into the program more, I was even more excited, because if someone had said to me, 6 months ago, here's a program, it's the Reduce Your Body program, which comes free with their product, is what I'm really passionate about also. Someone's written an amazing program, an 8-week shred. It's all about building healthy cultures for your family. Somebody else has already written it for me. All I have to do is take it and run with it, and I can start earning money with it straight away. Was completely sealed the deal for me. And I'm now surrounded with a community of beautiful, like-minded people that are all really passionate about health and trying to improve their own health and their wealth, working from home and staying at home with their babies, or helping their husbands come home from work a little bit earlier, or not having to work that extra day that week. All those little things are really important, and I'm really excited now for the future, because I can see how I'm helping Tanya and my new other team of staff. She wants me to put her in the bed. And yeah, I'm really excited for the future, because I can start to see the potential, and I'm not scared to share it with my friends or family anymore, because so many people are looking for a better way than just working 9 to 5. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it's heading.
Awesome. Thank you, darling. Your share's always beautiful. Thanks so much, guys. So thank you all for jumping on. As you can see, there's heaps of different stories, and we never really know what it's going to do for people, but we do know that the business works. You know, we've seen people do phenomenal things, you know, absolutely crazy things. Here where we live on the Gold Coast, there's people that are earning yearly figures monthly, you know, so there's lots to work towards. It's something that gets really exciting. And the most important part for me, and I'm sure there's a few others on here that would feel the same, you get there by contributing to other people and by helping to build other people and help people with their health, you know, which is really important. So if any of this makes sense, like I said, please get your questions answered. We're full of answers. We love them. So definitely chat away. If you've got anything, feel free to pop them up in the chat box there. But I just wanted to thank everybody for sharing tonight. You guys did a phenomenal job. Really well. I know you were all very nervous. And thank you to everybody who jumped on and supported them, because I'm sure they appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. Have a lovely night. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon.